What's up, humans, and welcome to a new Psicoactivo. So, the Peru hearings happened this morning on Saturday in Lima. And initially, I already had the list of people who were going to speak. I was offered the live link so I could stream it on the channel, but I've never done a live stream before, and I didn't want to mess it up. But apparently, I didn't have to worry about that because people who were doing the live stream over there did mess it up in the first minutes of the presentation. Dr. McDowell's testimony, whose was the most important one, in my opinion, out of all the testimonies that happened, was not completely streamed. He did speak, obviously, but it wasn't on the live stream. I am hoping they recorded it so I can give it to you guys and let you know what he said. I do have Josh McDowell's, the attorney. I do have his testimony. Here it is.
Not relevant to the subject at hand.
Lo importante de por qué estamos aquí es para que decirnos mutuamente solo y para llegar a unos resultados claros y precisos al final.
It is important that we differentiate the bodies. The bodies that we have seen and studied are not the ones that have been shown today. We recognize that there are constructed bodies, that there are dolls.
Es importante que diferenciemos los cuerpos que se han visto aquí, que diferenciemos porque reconocemos que existen muñecos armados, pero no todos son así.
It is a disservice to the study of the bodies, the people of Peru, and the truth to purposely confuse the subject by showing poorly constructed reproductions.
Es un mal propósito mostrar los cuerpos que no son los mejores. Esto es una falta de servicio al Perú y a la gente de Perú y a los propósitos éticos.
It is the duty of the Ministry of Culture to study, protect, and determine the destination for items of cultural heritage.
Es el deber del Ministerio de Cultura proteger los, objetos, cuerpos que son del patrimonio nacional.
In our short study, we have not reached any conclusions, but what we hope to do is work together with the Ministry of Culture, with Peruvian scientists, and any other scientists from around the world to obtain answers and to get to the truth of what these are. We know that these bodies are unique, individual, and worthy of study.
En nuestro breve estudio no hemos llegado a conclusiones y nos gustaría poder trabajar con científicos peruanos y también con científicos internacionales.
I believe that if we start with
Sabemos que estos cuerpos son algo especial, algo único.
I believe that if we start with genetic testing, DNA, carbon-14, that we can get some answers very quickly, cheaply, and easily.
Sabemos que deberíamos empezar con pruebas genéticas y del carbono 14 para llegar a los resultados.
Thank you for the time.
Muchas gracias por su tiempo.
Muchas gracias, lo felicito por lo preciso que ha sido su intervención. Bueno, antes de terminar, vamos a...
Yeah, so McDowell was pretty clear that all he is asking for is for Congress in Peru to take this seriously and investigate it. And he did call out Flavio Estrada and his people. When I saw the list initially, I saw Estrada's name, and I immediately thought, why is he there? If he's been one of the people who has been misinforming the Peruvian and the international community, why is he given a platform? I don't understand it. You can have one of these with skeptics, but skeptics who are honest and transparent, not skeptics who have an agenda, like Mr. Estrada right here, because he clearly always has had an agenda. He's the one who presented the dolls that were modern constructions. And those are different from the ones that were at Ica University. People in Latin America have been repeating this ad nauseum. And there's a bunch of debunkers and skeptics who side with Estrada, which in my opinion is a grave mistake because this man has no good intention towards the cause. He is trying to protect his job and his incentives. And if he's found that he was obfuscating the information, what do you think is going to happen to him? You know? So he wasn't supposed to be there in the first place. I don't know why they gave him a platform. That was not a good move from the Peruvian government. And there's another clip that I found really interesting. So there was a moment where Flavio Estrada and a scientist he brought, whose name I really don't know, started trying to explain what the bodies were. And honestly, I don't think anybody could understand what the man was saying. I'm not sure why he was brought there, but you guys can see Estrada's face. He's very confrontational against Jaime. There's another moment where Jaime Maussan is speaking and is trying to confront Estrada, and Estrada has a grin in his face, mocking Jaime. I'm gonna play it while I speak so you can guys see it. But the most important part of this, I think, was that after the meeting, Josh McDowell did say that he spoke to Congress people because he wasn't allowed to give his full statement. And he said that he is confident that they're going to get permission for a different hearing that may potentially happen in Ica University, and where they're going to allow further investigation. Let's keep it clear here, folks, because I want to draw a line between the people who are actually trying to get this investigated further and those who are jumping the gun and saying that these are already aliens or non-human intelligence. Yes, the tridactyl features do throw me off a lot too. There's also this from the people who took the x-rays and the tomographies of the bodies from the Ministry of Culture that are sitting right now in power. That's not Flavio Estrada anymore. They confirmed that the bodies are not constructed nor manipulated. Here's the clip.
Structure, right? This one, we don't see signs that, as for what you ask us, that if they have been amputated, that the bones have been fractured, traumatic amputations, some of which there are no signs, but that there are some missing phalanges we have described. Now, what happened? That is already worth an expert opinion that is not up to us to make a statement about. We have to clarify that. We are only making the radiological examination of what we are seeing and what we have managed to reconstruct with the tomographic software of the equipment that has been described.
Yeah. So that's directly from the Peruvian Ministry of Culture, the ones that are right now in power. That's a confirmation, official confirmation at a public hearing in Peru's Congress that Maria, the mummy, and Guaguita, which was the other one that they took for study, are not constructed. They are real bodies that once lived. They have tridactyl features in their feet and hands, and they weren't manipulated or tampered with. Those are the conclusions from the people that are now sitting at the Ministry of Culture in Peru. We needed this. This is good news. I know that some people were going to expect something like they were going to say, oh, they're not human. No. We're not there yet at all. So all of those who are convinced that these are aliens already or non-human, or you got to wait a little bit. Wait. This hearing was just to get more permission to investigate the bodies in a more official capacity. So everybody who's involved in this, who is already trying to spout their own theories, saying these are hybrids or they came from the skies, or trying to link the old geoglyphs or old tales, old oral traditions to these saying that they're from a different planet that came from the sky, that is too soon, guys. Too soon. And I'm not saying that I don't want for that to be the case. That would be really cool. That would be the greatest discovery ever. I still think that if these are not deemed non-human, which I think it's unlikely due to the tridactyl features, but we still can't say that. If these are deemed non-human, I think that we could be looking at a different type of hypothesis, which has nothing to do with the ETH, extraterrestrial hypothesis. It has more to do with the crypto-terrestrial hypothesis, which is what I'm leaning towards the most right now. If these or when these are confirmed 100% real and non-human. For now, what we got from this was the testimony from Josh McDowell, Dr. John McDowell's testimony, which I'm going to try and get later, and these two radiologists who confirmed that the bodies are not tampered with, they're real, and they once lived. Their morphology makes sense to them. And also, this inclusion of Flavio Estrada and his people, that was pretty telling. I think that, yes, skeptics are allowed and should be allowed in any debate of this sorts or in any kind of hearing of this sort, but you can't put in there someone who's compromised. That's just my opinion. And you could see Jaime was really pissed off about this. I'm one of the people who happens to believe that Jaime probably should have sit this one out, but that would have been impossible. I think he's already done quite enough. He could have stayed behind the scenes, but he wanted to speak, I guess. I guess he feels entitled to, due to all the investment he's done and all the coverage he's done. But I think that this was more like a Peruvian affair that shouldn't have involved people from Mexico. But that's just me. Yes, they included 2 Americans who gave it more international credence, but I don't think Jaime was there for that. Again, this is just my opinion. I think he's already done quite a bit for the case, and if it wasn't for him, the case wouldn't have the international awareness that it has right now. But this should have been an affair where instead of Jaime, Thierry Jamont should have been sitting there in his place. Yes, I said it. I'm sorry, but that's the way I feel. Thierry was the one there first. I don't know why he wasn't there. He should have been one of the people talking at the hearing. Inkari Institute should have been there, and they weren't. I have no idea why, but I don't have a good feeling about it. That's just me. And the good news is that I think this is gonna move the ball a little forward. We're gonna get more investigation into the bodies, and that's about it for me. The hearing itself was really long. There was a lot of repeated stuff that we already saw in other hearings, so I didn't think it was worth covering. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts on what you think about this hearing. I'm going to leave the link in the description. If you like the content you see, I'm going to ask you to please like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you can get notified when a new video drops. And if you want to support the channel in any other way, there are a bunch of links down there. You can take your pick. Thank you for your help and your support. And without further ado, I'll see you guys until the next video. Bye.